annoying. But I would not call this by any means fundamental. You can do this, but oh my god, pause. I actually unplugged my headphone and my mic is right next to my speaker, so I thought you were going to get this insane feedback loop, which has happened on the air before. I'm like, viewers, here's an absolutely important idea you must understand. And then it was just like, ooh, and it was like screaming so loud. And I screamed, which of course made the feedback even worse, but sorry, I'm going to go ahead and resume this game. That Roach with Burrow, that makes you feel clever as Zerg, but not necessarily is the important thing to be doing as Zerg. Never confuse that feeling of, ha ha ha, I'm such a badass, with anything that's reasonable or good in any regard. I want to assure you that Roach with Burrow, I liked it because of how late it was in the game. Do not rush for Roaches with Burrow so you can burrow and delay an orbital command for 15 seconds. It is just not worth that gigantic investment at that earliest stage in the game. And I would argue that getting Burrow that fast is pretty gigantic of an investment because you're kind of gas hungry as Jergy early on. But either way, gooping up around the edges so he can expand to the flanks, really awesome. Braddock trying to move out. Not a ton of Marauders, not that many, just mostly Marines and now Ghosts. For any of you who didn't know, Ghost's snipe ability is amazing. EMP also going to be able to deal with these infestors really well. But yep, there's the snipes. Look at how easy that is just to annihilate an infestor super well. So continuing to pump out units. Again, don't be shy with making Marines out of barracks with tech labs. Sometimes you want 4 tech labs on your barracks, so that way you can in fact make a whole bunch of Marauders really fast if you need to. But when they're not doing that, there's nothing wrong with making Marines out of it. So here comes the first push. Now look at the health on that guy plummet. Are you hearing all those snipes? Look at how fast that died. That actually is really amazing. I actually thought they would have done a little bit more damage. And hear more snipes going off. Such great play by Braddock. Even getting a Raven in there. Still only 1 starport making those medevacs. There's no reactor starports at all. Just 1 starport making them 1 at a time. This Ghost play is super cool. And I want you to just acknowledge that these players have an evolution to their play. There's a clear, first I did this, and then I did this, and then I finished with that. That's really what you want. Because it's so tempting to be like, alright, I started making Marine Marauder, and then I got more barracks and kept making Marine Marauder. When I had 5 expansions, I had 16 barracks Marine Marauder. You know, it's okay. You can only make 2 units for so long until it's awful. So I love the fact that it was, you know, early push into big macro style into some extra spellcasters, the Ghosts and the Ravens. And the Little One, who opened with Roaches to defend, and then got Infestor Zergling, and then got Mutalisks, and then Ultralisks. Just love that A, B, then C kind of mix. And, you know, this is, I think, going to be the success of Zergs as time progresses, is counterattacking, Nidus forming, dropping, using the speed, using the creep. Because notice the Zerglings hooked along this creep, and that's so they were able to bounce into the back. Are these guys upgrading? Oh, yes, indeed. Are they 3-3? 3-3. I love 3-3. And, you know, this isn't brutal. This isn't like, oh, 6 Zerglings, I might lose 4 SCVs, slit wrists. You know, like, it's not horrific in terms of straight-up damage. But this draws the whole army back, and oh look, this expansion that was recently threatened is no longer threatened because his whole army is way pulled back. And again, Dario continuing to be annoying as hell, but burrowing lings here, all that good jazz. And Braddock using his trademark drops. And it's actually kind of amazing, because I've watched Braddock play against more typical Zergs, you know, what I would call the Idra style, the Artosa style, or even like, you know, players like Hey Pro, who really focus a lot on queens, big unit mixes, having a lot of stuff. Oh, looks like there's another drop here as well. They focus on just playing defensively as Zerg, and as a result, Braddock has the opportunity to be the aggressor. You know, Idra is basically saying, all right, I'm not going to attack you at any point, but bring it, because I'm ready to defend. And Braddock's the sort of player who's like, all right, sweet, and he just starts dropping all over the place, pushing your front, pulling back and swinging around the side. Awesome movement, and it's kind of impressive to me, having had that knowledge about Braddock's play, to see him kind of forced into passivity by little counterattacks like this, and how annoying that can be. But Braddock still was a good StarCraft 1 player. He's kind of being a little bit careful with pulling units back. Oh god, that's like really good. And here's more drops going on. Yep, this is the Braddock that we know and love. Yes, continuing to push as well. Here's a bunch of Ghosts off to the side. Holy friggin' Ultralist, stat man. And, oh, there's the snipes going down, doing a lot of damage to those Ultras. And if you never have to cloak a Ghost, I mean, he's going to get 8 snipes, and 8 times 45 is a lot of hit points of damage. I'm not going to try to do math on air. So I'm actually going to hold these health points along. God, look at how fast a lot of those are dying. And when you have this many Ultralists, it can be hard regardless, but a lot of action going down. Looks like I would have my mini-map pinged by one of the observers in the game. And look at this, without even really that many units, still being able to take them down. Braddock doing the counter drop, awesome. This is always a money location right above the ramp, so you can block reinforcements from popping up very easily. More snipes trying to go on. Broodlords are very, very difficult to deal with, but are there more ghosts coming out? Because that would be the unit that would also be able to deal with these Broodlords well. But unfortunately, does not exactly look like the case. And here are more units coming up. Ooh, one of the medevacs getting caught a little bit off guard. Love that Hellion in there, and it even has the blue flame upgrade. Totally kick-ass. And yeah, it doesn't really look amazing for Braddock, but he's hanging in there. He's hanging in there. He really needs this base to land. It's not as bad as it seems, because Terran, now that he has all his infrastructure up, once that lands, he can go right back to blasting out tons of units. But ooh, nice little kill on the Ultralist Cavern. And almost on one of the Infestors. Lol. But, I mean, Broodlords are just so good. And are there any queens in this mix? If you could get a queen in here, thanks to this creep, you could be constantly transfusing. You could transfuse that so much, and it would be very hard to kill, even with those snipes. It's like transfuse is the opposite of the ghost snipe. It doesn't look like any ghosts at all are coming out, and Broodlords and Broodlings are doing so much damage. Finally trying to shoot, but I would just love a queen. I mean, at this part, I'd probably tip my hat to LittleOne, because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases to, like, half a base. Just phenomenal play by LittleOne. And plus, I've, like, personally played games against Braddock, and that guy feels horrible to play against. Oh, you just, no matter what you do, you just feel wrong. He just punishes you so hard. His ghosts are really good in PvP as well. So finally, looks like Braddock might have the chance to stabilize, but 1 Fungal Growth, and 1,000,000 Infestors, and everything being rallied in a very Zerg-like fashion. Yeah, that's going to pretty much be game. I'm going to speed it up because I was going for about 35 minutes. I want to make sure that we have a chance to take a few questions at the end. Here come the Corruptors. Yes, doing a little bit of magic there. Yes, yes indeed. Fantastic. Morphing Broodlords right at the front door. How rude. Oh, Dario, you naughty, naughty boy. And no, maybe I won't be slowing it down because this is pretty cool. Going to the resource counting station is a little bit hard to come back from a 101 food deficit. But I'm going to give Braddock the benefit of the doubt and keep on playing here. Still has a medevac down here. Dario still has resources out and about. Looks like he's going to do a little stim and go. That's a lot of medevacs. This is like a Greetorp level amount of medevacs. I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat window to go ahead and take a few of those questions as well. I see a lot of people typing number 1 in chat, which is fantastic. But yeah, you know what? This is... not much you can do about that. Ugh. Yeah, that's not going to turn out so well. Yeah, you know, I am going to speed it up because I just don't want this to go on for too long. Oh, God, poor Braddock. Oh, my God. All right, there's the GG. All right, cool. Again, that's a very pro-gamer-esque thing to just sort of hang in there and try to swing your way back in it. But unfortunately, I'm on a schedule. I'm a very tight schedule. I have to eat food after this. Brr. Oh, I'm going to cook a pizza. I'm going to put a pizza in the oven. Alright, cool. Cool. Oh yeah, by the way, in 1 week, I get on a plane and I go to Germany. Going to Germany. Let's see. So, MC Twitch says, Day 9, it seems like Braddock kept up with one build throughout the whole game, utilizing medevacs, marines, and marauders. Do you think changing techs around mid-game would have helped his late-game outcome? So, I would never say that he used one build through the whole game. I would say his core stayed the same. That it's marines, marauders, and medevacs. There's nothing wrong with having like a solid, straight-up core in really anything. I mean, like Protoss, their core is Zealots and Stalkers. That's just really, no matter what you do, those are going to be your two base meat units that are just sort of there to deal the damage because they cost largely minerals. And a lot of the other cutesy stuff costs gas. Same thing with Marine Marauder. And actually, I think that if he tried to suddenly like go mech, like add on like 10 factories and stop all Marine Marauder production, that would have hurt him a little bit. But what I actually would say that Braddock did amazing in that game is that he kept changing. So it's so easy to look at that and say, well, he started going Marine Marauder, and then he just went more Marine Marauder, and then he ended with Marine Marauder. But really, it was 2 barracks, 1 starport without add-on to build up to an early game push, which I really wish he would have done more with. But it built up to that early game push. And then, after that, he added on like 6 barracks and another engineering bay, and then kept making more of these stuff. And then after that, he got Ghosts and Ravens. That's cool. That's more and more next steps to his play. I just think that it was his problem was that he was a little bit passive, and it's easy to fall into that trap. But I would